Today, I will share 3 top secrets on how you can start your own business today without business education or money. By the end of this video, you will learn about the major mistakes I made when just starting a business, and you will be equipped not to make the same mistakes when you are ready. Hi, my name is Olga Kravchenko and I'm a UK-based entrepreneur. If someone told me 5 years ago that I would be running a virtual reality business, I would think that they're absolutely crazy. But here we are today. I'm running an immersive learning platform for children to educate them about arts and culture and the world we live in. Moreover, I raise investment, I receive grants from different governmental organizations, and even we've made it to Forbes 30 Under 30 in 2021. I had no background in computer science or business education. I did drama and arts and cultural management. And if I can do it, you can do it too. Before I share 3 top secrets, I actually want to give you a little bit of the context. So when I was starting my business, I had no idea what kind of world I was entering. For me, all these foreign abbreviations like MVP or business model canvas or SUM or TUM or SOM just made absolutely no sense. And when you are starting the business, it can be a little bit daunting because you don't understand what they're saying. I remember the first time someone asked me about EBITDA, and in my own language, it just sounded like a swearing word. But anyway, there will be no lingo in my channel, and I just want to make business more accessible, and I want everyone to feel like they can run a business. So, enough talking, let's start sharing. So, secret number 1. Before you actually start your business, you need to test your business idea. And to do it, you just need to know 2 things. One is, what problem are you actually solving? And number 2 is, who is your target market? Target market is simply people that will end up buying your product or using the product. Sometimes we see something like a dual business model and it becomes a little bit complicated, and I will uncover all of this mystery in my next videos. But for now, focus on what problem you are solving, who is your target customer. And when we are thinking about the problem, it's very important that you actually fall in love with it. Because as you build your business, as you test different assumptions, you will understand sometimes that maybe your initial plan or your initial solution was not the best one. But as long as you're absolutely in love with the problem, oh, trust me, you will get there. I will give you my own example. When I was just starting and I was thinking, you know what, I want everyone to fall in love with the museums and with the knowledge that they have behind the walls, I thought, I will just create very high-end 360 production, and I will need 15 people to create the next, I don't know, virtual reality Netflix for people to engage with the museums. And you know what? When I started testing my idea and I started talking to people, I realized that actually it was parents who would want to pay for this. And for kids, it was important not just to see beautiful visuals, but to have an overlay of information that they can interact with. And that's how I ended up moving from, I have no idea what I'm doing, to, okay, I'm gonna do a 360 videos in Netflix style that would cost me loads of money, to I'm gonna build bite-sized games that will have both virtual reality and a 2D mode, and that will be delivered like a mobile application. So coming back to testing, right? You need to answer 2 questions. Question 1, what is the problem? And number 2, who has this problem? So this brings me to step 1. You need to define your potential customer, and you need to try to make it as detailed as possible. You can hear our dog downstairs. I'm just concerned she might be eating cookies. So now we are getting closer to step 2. Once you actually know who is your customer, you need to really make sure that they actually have a problem that you're trying to solve. And the easiest way today, like 10 years ago it was really complicated, but today it is really easy. It's to set up an Instagram or a Facebook ad. You could either explain your solution, or you could actually just pose a question that you think would reflect the problem in the best possible light. For me, it would be, do you hate your kids playing Fortnite or something like that? And if the parent would actually click, I would understand that, oh, it hurts so much, they're ready to click a random link on the internet. On the other side, after the click, you can either have a survey or you can have a website where people can put their email and you would just kind of like identify what kind of concept you're looking to build. Trust me, people are very excited to give their feedback and you should never be afraid to actually ask for their feedback. Step 3, build your concierge MVP. I know I promised not to use any abbreviations, but actually MVP, what stands for minimum viable product, is a very important one. It means that you want to build a very basic version of the product that you're planning to roll out that won't cost you a lot in neither money or time. Concierge MVP is basically you solving the problem manually for your customers and maybe even taking the payments. I spent 9 months in the research before releasing my public beta, and I tested with parents, I tested with kids, I tested with the museums before actually being ready to launch, and we did it like at a shoestring budget. We had no money. So if I can do it, you can really do it. And now we are moving to our secret number 2. So running a startup is like operating a plane while building it, while learning how to fly it, while the entire plane is on fire. So it's very, very complicated, it's a very stressful process, and you really want to have a brave co-pilot with you. But in order to bring someone along on your journey, you need to be able to share your idea. Please, 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 don't be afraid to share your idea and to talk about your idea or your concept with people. It's very unlikely that someone will steal it. And also, ideas don't really cost money. It's the execution that actually counts. And you're more likely to find someone who will bring an additional skill set and who will help you to build your MVP and actually launch the product much quicker if you're not afraid to share with people. When I started business, I was talking about Musemio. At this point, it was called Museum 2.0 to every single person I was meeting.
This idea I want to run by you.
I was meeting a random stranger on the tubes that would just be like, hi, and I'd be like, oh, do you know, I'm like working on this business idea. Do you know anyone that has kids? Or do you know anyone who like does virtual reality? And to be honest, for me, actually finding one of my co-pilots was very, very complicated. I didn't have any technical skills, and I just kept on thinking about everyone I had on my network who could potentially be doing virtual reality. And back when I was starting it was not trendy. There were very, very small number of people who were actually doing it. And I remembered that a while ago, someone told me that one of my classmates were doing something in IT. Something. I wasn't sure if it was VR or game development or anything. And I messaged him 5 years after graduation saying, hey, any chance you're into VR? And he said, yes, I am. And after I told him about my business idea, and he said, look, when do you need an MVP by? And that's how I knew I met the right person. And he's now my CTO, my Chief Technical Officer. So the world is actually really small, and you might already have the right person around you. Just don't be afraid to share. And trust me, the destiny will bring you there. So now we are getting to the final secret. And final secret gonna sound a little bit straightforward. Just be creative. And I don't mean be creative in terms of crafts or drawing or dancing. You need to be creative in your business strategy and how you're going to get from point A to point B. To run a startup, you usually need 3 things. You need money, you need time, and you need resources or people. But usually you have just 2 out of these 3, and you need to think like really creatively on how you're going to get number 3. In our case, when we were starting, we had no money whatsoever. Money, I don't have any money! I was finishing my master's degree, I had no savings, no one had savings. My parents thought that I would never be able to start a business, and I had to think creatively. I was very lucky because I already had a CTO. Come back to my previous secret about sharing your idea and finding your tribe. But I had no money, and I knew that in order for me to be able to do it full-time and for my CTO to start working full-time, we needed like at least a little bit of cash, because as an entrepreneur you still need to eat. I looked for every single opportunity that would allow me to bring a small amount of money into my startup to kind of start building up and hopefully get it to the stage where I can actually raise some investment. I looked through my networks and I found out that there were a number of competitions that were available for early stage startups, and I took part in every single competition and every single award I could in order to A, build up my credibility as a business, B, meet like-minded people and potentially investors that would help us to raise a round later on, and 3, actually win money. And I was successful. We've raised initially around £10,000, that's probably around $15,000 for those who are in the US, and that what really helped us to get to the point where we were able to raise some investment and also not to lose momentum and keep on growing as a business. So just look out for the opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities for businesses, especially for startups. And if you just dig into your university network, into your local network, or you see what is the nearest business center looks like, you'll get there. There are also now, what pandemic really brought is the opportunity to pitch and to get this money from wherever you are. You don't actually need to be geographically locked in a certain place. Check it out. Just Google startup competitions or like early stage startup grants and you will get them. Additionally, as I said, I was sharing Musemio with everyone I met, and this way I managed to secure some free PR coverage that was super important when we were growing, and that also helped us to get more clients, to get more validation, and to start building our brand. So today, as a result of understanding these 3 simple secrets, number 1, test your idea, number 2, share your idea with everyone to find your tribe, and number 3, be creative, I am still running my business. I absolutely love every single minute of it. I raised over £250,000 both in equity free and equity money. My business received international coverage from different outlets, and we even made it to Forbes 30 Under 30, what is super cool. But most importantly, I know that the product that we are building is actually putting a smile on the face of many kids, and it's an incredible feeling of the satisfaction. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was useful to you. Please leave any questions you have in the comments, subscribe to my channel and like this video. In the next couple of weeks, you will have a lot of new videos coming out about what business is and what kind of business lessons I have learned. Stay tuned, and I hope I will inspire you to start your own business one day.